Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Jerick and welcome back to the Let's Build series for a Airbase. This is episode 2, and the first episode we actually start to get a little bit of building in. As you saw with the kind of intro, kind of cinematic type dealio, we went ahead and built a nice little platform for basically designed to be quick response force F-16. So F-16s that would be designed to kind of like quickly deploy in situations where an unidentified aircraft comes out of nowhere, or plane is hijacked or something like that. Basically just to immediately gain air superiority over a immediate threat to basically the homeland. So this is a United States Air Force base that's also going to be jointed with a Army base. So that's kind of the goal here. I'm not sure exactly how well it's going to fit together, or if we just stick with an Air Force base, or if we switch up a little bit, but basically what we're going for is a joint base, because I would love to have some actual, you know, armored vehicles and stuff like that on the base as well, to kind of add to it and everything like that. And you wouldn't really have tanks and stuff on an Air Force base unless it was a joint base. So we're going for a joint base between the U.S. and U.S. Army and Air Force, so it should be really awesome. But in this little kind of part here, we're just going to take a look, and pretty much for the remaining of the video is just take a look and discuss some of the plans actually in game, and kind of take a look at what's been worked on and what I've done. Unfortunately, I had a lot more footage I wanted to share with you guys. However, I was having problems with my mod that I used to capture those cinematics, and let's just say the footage didn't record. And so I had a lot of footage where I was working on the runway and setting the runway up that I really wanted to share with you guys, but unfortunately, you know, it just didn't work out. And I do plan on doing another runway, so I can obviously try to do a little bit of a cinematic with that, to kind of give you guys an idea of the building process behind the runways and all that stuff. But overall, I'm really happy with the way the base is going so far. We don't really have any major structures or anything yet, but so far with the flow of it and everything, I'm really liking it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got built so far on the base. I guess you can see that the base is also outfitted with an Air National Guard unit, aka the, you know, quick response F-16s. So we're going to have a total of 5 of these platforms here for basically 5 F-16s that could be rapidly deployed in any kind of situation. As I mentioned, kind of, you know, what they do and all that stuff, and I kind of like the idea from like GTA 5, where they had the Airbase Fort Zancudo and they had like the platforms right next to the runway, and it was really easy for them to basically deploy quickly and didn't have to go for any, you know, complicated like taxiways or anything like that, and could easily get up in the air within a couple minutes. And that's what I wanted here with these jets, so they can easily taxi out from their basically holding little pins here, or whatever you want to call them, their pads, and you can actually go right out onto the runway and immediately take off. So lots of cool stuff going on here, and the detail is absolutely awesome. I'm loving the detail so far. So just to kind of give you guys a brief overview of the pin, we have, obviously, they're all going to be about the same in looking, everything like that, but they're a little bit of worn and torn, as you can see with the blending of some different blocks together, which I really think creates a really nice texture for this. I'm really happy the way it came out. Just you know, some barriers along the sides here, everything like that, nothing real fancy. Not really much point to them. I just thought they added a little bit more detail to the platforms and made them a little bit more appealing, so I decided to add them. I also have some spotlights, or what would be lighting, to light up the aircraft and, you know, at night or whatever. And we also have some blast ramps here on the back, since the you know, this jet would probably be getting out of here pretty quick, just to have some protection in case you know, it's tried to blast off, or, you know, try to take off real quickly, and there's a plane back here and you have like the back blast from the jet or anything that causes damage. So that, and you can actually see some wear and tear on the actual ramps themselves from the blasting, kind of, you know, slowly kind of burning, you know, basically leaving soot and stuff like that on the ramps there. And then we have this pin over here, which is pretty much exactly the same. I do want to tweak some stuff here and there, change it up a little bit to give it a little bit of a different appearance, but they're practically the same. And you know, I just gotta obviously adjust them and make them look a little bit different, so that they're not the same cookie cutter thing all the way down. But overall, really nice. I'm really liking the detail in between these areas. You can see very nice. It looks really appealing to look at, and really happy with that. So that's kind of what we worked on in the time lapse. Also, we can talk about the runway here, because the runway is obviously newly built, and this was the footage I really wanted to share with you guys. And this was what I was wanting to do for the first episode, was have the runway in place and everything like that. But unfortunately, obviously with the recording issues, we did not have the ability to share it. So here it is now. We got obviously the back blast pad, you know, the lighting here for the runway, and basically all your markers and everything like that. I obviously forget exactly what each of the markers means. I know they all have specific meanings and stuff like that, but they you know, will be they obviously serve a purpose. And I was looking at actual airfields and looking at diagrams of what these all mean. This right here is the touchdown zone, so this is going to have pretty much skid marks and all that stuff going all the way down to about this zone right here. So this area right here is where the aircraft wants to touch down at. So really happy with this. The marks are going so far. Adds a nice little detail bit. Obviously they need to be extended all the way down, but it was just kind of an experimental thing I was trying out to begin with, and I'm so far liking it so far. Then we have obviously the letters and numbering here. This is actually going to be the runway to the right, so I actually got to change it to the left one, so that's something I got to do. But yeah, so we have all the taxiways that lead out from the runway. This is obviously where most of the aircraft would start and take off from. Then if we go in this direction here, we're going to have another taxiway that's going to lead behind the F-16s, which is basically going to connect up to all of our basically areas here for basically our jet storage. So I plan on having a row or two of F-16s. You can see these F-16s are angled, so they actually look really cool, angled, and they work really good with the line. So I'm actually surprised on how well they actually work. So we got some F-16s just kind of sitting here deployed, angled, just kind of me testing some designs and stuff like that. I want to definitely have some F-15s stationed around, and probably in hangars we'll have stuff like the F-35 and everything like that, because, you know, that's the new expensive aircraft, so it's going to get the nice hangar and everything like that. So these are some pretty big kind of parking spots, or basically, you know, I don't know the exact term for it, but basically this is what they are, parking spots for the jets, and it's a pretty big area. It goes pretty far back, and pretty much all the way back to this section right here, and this is all going to be filled with jets, and look, obviously a few missing spaces here and there, but this area is going to be pretty full with a lot of jets, F-15s and F-16s probably mostly. Then this area right here is going to be our first hangar. It's going to be a double hangar, so two hangars pretty much connected together to basically do maintenance on jet fighters. So that's going to be located pretty much in this area right here, and probably be one of the things I'm working on next on the world. Not 100% sure exactly yet, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I also need to design an F-15 to start getting put in these positions and stuff like that, and everything like that. There were some changes to my original plans. I think it kind of was originally stated that I did want to have cargo planes to the right side here. So obviously we have basically the start here of some, you know, positions for obviously, you know, C-130s and stuff like that. They're going to be going in this place, which I actually may go back and fix up my C-130 after looking at it for a little bit. I see some stuff that I would like to fix on it. But it's going to have a few more of these basically positions that go pretty far back, and there's going to be obviously a big hangar that could fit two C-130s next to each other, so it's going to be a gigantic hangar. And there's going to be some C-130s stationed over here in this area. One of the problems I face, though, is that the world is not long enough before I start running into mountainous terrain to where I can't really have a runway for a C5 Galaxy. And I really want to have C5s on the base, so I'm contemplating the idea of having a runway that runs diagonal, and that might be able to give me the space I need. This runway right here will be the right one. I also plan on having another one that's going to be the left. That might be a little bit shorter. And then I'll have one that maybe will diagonal intersect them. So that's something I'm thinking about. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually going to be anything. That's just, again, you know, just ideas and, you know, some stuff like that. So if I did do it, it would intersect around this, probably further down the runway, obviously. But it would come intersect across, and then maybe located over on the air side of the runway, or maybe in the space in between. There would be storage and space for C5 Galaxies to be able to land, because they need a pretty good sized runway of about 5,000 blocks. And unfortunately, this runway right here is only about 3,600. So just to kind of maintain accuracy, I didn't want to just kind of, you know, fudge it and say, oh, the runway's long enough when it's not really. So probably gonna have to do a diagonal runway that goes across to make it fit, and that should do what I need it to do. But that's just something that we'll have to come mess with at a later date. It might be interesting too, because it would kind of split our base into sections. So we would have the jet section. The runway would kind of go across and then we'd have the helicopter section over there, and then we would have the area over here for cargo planes. So it could actually work out really well and in our favor, but that's just something we'll have to obviously mess with and see what we kind of come up with. But so far I'm really liking the way the base is coming along. Just wanted to kind of pop in and show you guys actual in-game view of what I've built so far. Obviously I built a lot more than the actual clip kind of shows, but that was like 2 hours of footage, sped up to only like 5 minutes and all that. So and rendering time for that is quite a bit, so just wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit of the building process. And obviously I'm not going to be doing everything on camera, as this base is going to be absolutely huge, so I don't want to obviously just waste your time with, you know, detailing grass and putting little details and randomizing stuff when realistically what you guys want to see is actual things being built on the base and not just detailing and everything like that. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys all so much for the support on the first episode. You guys seem to be really excited for this project, and so am I. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an amazing project with a lot of, you know, really good outcomes, and I'm hoping that it will really amount to something, unlike the previous military base, which didn't get as far as I would have really liked to. But I really feel the inspiration with this one. I think the terrain definitely helps, having the trees in the background, and just an environment really kind of sets it in and really makes it really appealing for me to build in. And so far I'm really enjoying myself, having a good time, and you know, I can't wait to see where this base really goes and what it turns into. So as always, feel free to leave your ideas down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think I should add to the base. You know, not stuff like nuclear missile silos and stuff like that, because that's probably not going to be really realistic in the sense of what I'm going for. But if you have ideas for like a training area, or you know, like a little sports complex, or on-base housing, or stuff like that, little ideas that might be really cool to implement into the world, I'd love to hear them. But you know, try to keep it semi-realistic. We're not going for like a fantasy airbase with all this weird underground complexes and bunkers and stuff, as it's not really realistic in the sense of, you know, just a standard airbase. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and stay tuned for episode 3. I think episode 3 is going to involve maybe working on some hangars, as I would really like to get a start on trying to get some hangars up and get some structures and stuff like that to actually look at and be able to appreciate. So anyways, that's going to do for this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Ep.2, and I'll see you guys next time.